channel, then you probably have heard me mention Helix. A while ago, they actually were kind enough to send me a mattress, and I loved it then, and I still love it now. Being an ASMR artist means that sleep is super important to me, and so I am so excited to partner with Helix for this video. Helix Sleep makes premium bedding and mattresses that are customized to fit your needs and then are conveniently shipped right to your front door. Everybody's different, and Helix knows that, so they came up with this sleep quiz that you can take that matches your unique body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. Whether you like sleeping on your stomach or your back or your side or your other side, Helix definitely has something for you. I personally sleep on my side, or sometimes I'll sleep on my stomach, but most of the time I sleep on my side, and I like my mattress to be all soft and squishy, you know, where you can curl up and it's just like you sink into it. That's what I like. And after I put that information into the Helix Sleep quiz, I got matched with the Sunset mattress. I've had it for about 3 months now, and I love it, and I've noticed that ever since I got my new mattress, I've been able to like fall asleep and then stay asleep through the night, because that's something that I've always struggled with. I would wake up numerous times in the middle of the night. But ever since I got the Helix mattress, my sleep has definitely improved. And not only do I love my mattress, but my animals do too. So this is Izzy. Say hi, Izzy. Izzy's an outdoor cat, but he still loves to come in and sleep on my mattress. And my dog Sammy loves it too. He's not here right now, but he loves it. And the best part about all of this is that Helix delivers your mattress right to your front door for free. It comes rolled up in a box, and it's super easy to set up all by yourself. If it makes you nervous to buy something that you haven't tried, Helix actually has a 100-night sleep trial, so you get more than 3 months to, test it out, see if you like it. And if you end up not liking it, then Helix will come and pick it up for you, and you'll get a full refund. They have a 10-year warranty, and they offer financing options and flexible payment plans, so a great night's sleep is never far away. I love my Helix mattress, and I think you would too, so if you are looking for a new bed, then make sure to check out Helix. You can click the link in the description down below, or you can visit helixsleep.com/crazyk to get up to $200 off of your mattress. Thank you, Helix, for partnering with me to make this video, and thank you guys for watching this video. So without further ado, let's get on to reading the tiny books. Okay, now we have to make the difficult decision of which book to read first. So we have, let's see, let me show you the ones that we're going to be reading today. We have The Dog Catcher. We have Pinky, Winky, and Wee. And then we have this Aesop's Fables, and we're not going to be reading the whole thing because it's a lot. I think we're just going to read like 2 of them, but yeah, so we'll read some of those. Here's the back. And then lastly, since it's getting to become the holiday season, we'll read this little Christmas themed book. Called A Firefly in a Fir Tree. Okay. So, which one should we do first? Should we start with Aesop's Fables? I think we should. I'm feeling pretty good about that decision. Okay. Now, we just have to pick which ones to do. How about a classic, The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Here we go. There once was a boy with a voice so loud that it frightened his grandmother and made the neighbors' babies cry. The boy's father, hoping to get the boy a job, went to the town council meeting and asked if his son might become the town's shepherd. A wolf has been eating our sheep, said the boy's father. My son could watch over the flock and shout wolf whenever the flock is in danger. You have to admit that no one is more qualified for this job than my son. The council couldn't argue, so the boy was hired. At first the boy liked the job. He enjoyed being outdoors, and the work wasn't difficult. But soon he became bored. Nobody came to visit him, and he hadn't seen a single wolf. was enjoying the attention. The townspeople marched away, terribly angry with the boy. The boy kept quiet for the next few days as he waited for his next chance to play his trick. Then the unexpected happened. A wolf really did appear. The boy was terrified. He had never seen a wolf before, and the sight of it was horrible. He tried to cry wolf, but his voice was so frightened he lost his voice. Finally, the boy mustered all of his strength and all of his courage. "Wolf!" he shouted. "Wolf! Wolf!" He shouted as loud as he could, but nobody listened. "Help! Wolf!" he cried, but nobody came. "Wolf, it's a big one!" screamed the boy, but nobody believed him. All this time, the wolf was eating his fill of the flock. When most of the flock was eaten, he went back into the woods. No one believes a liar, even when he tells the truth. So that was the boy who cried wolf. Let's see, what else should we do? The tortoise and the hare. I love this one. The tortoise and the hare. The hare couldn't understand how the tortoise ever accomplished anything. Tell me, demanded the hare as he hopped circles around the tortoise. "How do you get things done? You move so slowly that it's hardly move at all. Just look at me. I cover lots of ground every day." To prove it, the hare sprinted across the field and back again before the tortoise could even open his mouth. "Well," began the tortoise as he considered his answer, "it's like this. First of all, I find it much better to plan ahead, and then—" "No time for this, no time," interrupted the hare, and in a flash he was gone. A few days later, the hare happened to meet the tortoise again, while the tortoise sunned himself on a mossy rock. "Hey there, Mr. Tortoise," shouted the hare, appearing suddenly and giving the tortoise a terrible scare. "If you don't watch out, somebody's gonna make soup of you." "Oh," replied the tortoise, poking his head out of his shell, "you're just mocking me. Besides, I don't believe—" But the hare was impatient. "I think what you need is some exercise. It'll start your heart pumping. It'll get your blood moving. Try it. You'll see. "Exercise," said the tortoise. "Let me think for a moment. By exercise, do you mean—" "A race," blurted the hare. "I challenge you to a race." And before the tortoise could reply, the date was set. On the morning of the race, everyone turned out to witness the contest of the season. The owl had selected a fair course the night before. And the lion and the frog agreed to judge the race and announced the winner. The tortoise and the hare stood side by side at the starting line. The race was about to begin. The crowd held its breath. A crow sitting in a nearby tree had dropped a twig, signaling the start. When the twig hit the ground, the racers were off. The shouts and croaks and caws and barks in the crowd were deafening, but the hare was already too far ahead to hear them. The tortoise moved along as fast as he could, which is to say, not very fast at all. But soon he too was well away from the starting line. When the hare reached the halfway mark, he turned to look behind him. The tortoise was nowhere in sight. It was almost lunchtime, and the hare thought about making a salad to celebrate his certain victory. He went off in search of carrots and lettuce and whatever else he might find. Meanwhile, the tortoise plunged along, slowly closing the gap between himself and the hare. The whole time he kept in his mind the thought of crossing the finish line. The hare had gathered a huge amount of salad greens for his victory salad, and even went to the trouble of finding tender blossoms. When he had finished the last of his salad, he returned to the track and dashed a little farther ahead, but the sun was high and hot, and the hare was drowsy from a big meal. Once again, he left the track, and this time in search of some shade. Little did he know that the tortoise was behind him, just around the bend. There's one thing I have to give to the tortoise credit nose. No wonder he can move so fast. The tortoise kept moving, and Hare dreamed about victory. A while later, the tortoise began to hear the friendly sounds of animals chirping, cawing, and growling, and he realized that he was nearing the finish line. As he cleared the top of the hill, he could see the crowd at the bottom. The crowd saw him too and began to cheer. In his dreams, the Hare thought the cheers were for him, but suddenly he awoke and realized the race was not yet won. He jumped up and dashed for the finish line. He reached the top of the last hill just in time to see the tortoise win. Slow and steady wins the race. Those were good. So that was Aesop's Fables. Maybe we could read some more another time. And then let's see what's next. Let's do Pinky, Winky, and Wee. Pretty pink eye. 5 little pink-eyed mice are we, a happy and loving family. In a sweet little house we live together, all sheltered warm and wine from weather. So, who wouldn't be a pink-eyed mouse and live like us in a snug little house? Good gracious, where did you creep from? Who are you, pray, and how did you come? Are you a stranger in this house? I don't think you are, a brother mouse. Then one of them saw the key in his side. Why, it's only a clockwork thing, he cried. Pray, spare me a tiny bit of you, please. I should so like just a morsel of cheese, and the very next time upon cheese I dine, I'll ask you to come and have part of mine. 2 little puppy dog friends are we, fond of each other as we can be, our bones together we always share. I think you'll say we're a dear little pair. I guess that's it. Maybe, yeah, well, that's Pinky, Winky, and Wee, I guess. I think maybe it's missing pages. No, it's not. Well, let's move on to the next story then. Okay. Should we do this one? The dog catcher. Let's do it. The dog catcher. Jimmy played with Spotty, his dog, who threw the ball as far as he could, and Spotty would chase it. Then Spotty brought the ball back. Spotty was very proud when he brought the ball back. Jimmy then would pet him and then would play the game again and again. One time, Spotty brought back a bone by mistake, which he had hidden for a long, long time in a secret place. The 2 had great fun. Once more, Jimmy threw the red ball far away. On and on it rolled. It rolled into the pond. Spotty ran after it. He stopped at the edge of the pond. Then he jumped into the water. There were 2 ducks swimming in the pond. Spotty dared not go near him. He looked and looked for the ball. The ducks began to swim away. He followed them. Where was the ball? He did not want to return to Jimmy without the ball. He swam about on the pond. Suddenly, an angry goose hissed at him. Quickly, he swam away. He picked up a twig and started swimming. He swam to the shore, but he was swimming away from Jimmy towards the other shore. When he reached the edge of the pond, he jumped out of the water and shook off the water. Suddenly, he was grabbed and put into the dog's catcher truck. There were many other dogs in the truck. Spotty knew some of them. What Spotty did not know was that the dog catcher of Lollipop Town was catching all dogs who didn't have dog tags. Jimmy looked around for Spotty. He did not see him. He whistled for Spotty. There was no answering bark. Then he remembered that probably the dog catcher of Lollipop Town had picked up Spotty. Jimmy's father had meant to buy a tag for Spotty, but had forgotten A Christmas Stocking Story by Hilary Knight. Happy and gay as they could wish, lived stork, hippo, lion, and fish. Around the corner, close and snug, lived elephant, snake, fox, and bug. These 8 dear friends one winter time told this silly Christmas rhyme. One Christmas Eve, bug, bird, and beast found their stockings soiled and creased. They quickly washed their socks with care, then looked at them in deep despair. Stork's stockings was a soggy sack. Hippo's stocking was stretched and slack. Lion's stocking simply shrank. Fish's sock hung loose and lank. Cried elephant, how oddly shaped. Snake said no words, but gasped and gaped. Fox's stocking was all wrong. Bug's was much too long, but they hung them up anyway. When Santa Claus appeared that night, he filled their socks by candlelight, with just enough, but not too much, relying on his sense of touch. When morning came, bird, beast, and bug, each into his stocking dug. Stork, making quite a face, withdrew from his 4 mitts of lace. Hippo felt inclined to grieve, peering at a knitted sleeve. Lion, trying not to scowl, remembered a tiny Turkish towel. Fish fell in a solemn hush, finding hers held comb and brush. Elephant expected bigger things, found his contained 6 diamond rings. Snake hoped not to show dismay, discovered hers was stuffed with hay. Fox, never difficult to please, leaped, went out, flew costumed fleas. Bug was not entirely chipper, but he unwired a toenail clipper. On Christmas Day, beast, bug, and bird found each had what they next preferred. Stork said, let's go, our best to fix up Santa Claus stocking mix-up, and they did. Stork, who suffered from sore throats, wore his sleeve with winter coats. Hippo, hiding giggling fits, shyly showed her lacy mitts. Lion, looking rather vain, brushed and combed his splendid mane. Fish, springing nimbly from her tub, gave herself a Turkish rub. Elephant, who loved to play, wriggled in his scratchy hay. Snake, who yearned for gaudy things, slipped into her diamond rings. Fox displayed his tidy feet, and his toenails clipped and neat. Bug crouched on bended knees, loudly cheering, performing fleas. Now all was happy, all was gay, on this cheery Christmas Day. The end. Okie dokie. Well, that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. I know I sure did. It was fun to read these tiny little books. Sometimes when I read too much, I stumble on my words, so I'm sorry for stumbling on my words a bit, but that's okay. So I will see you again soon.